Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Anna. I'll apologize for not uploading for a while. I have been sick for the last 4 weeks. I'm finally feeling better and am able to talk and not sound like a frog. So I figured I'd sit down and do a little bit of a cozy sit down video with you guys. I wrote some questions down and I'm gonna go through the new Booktuber tag, or the Booktube newbie tag. And it's just like a series of questions, and I figured I haven't done anything on this channel yet where you kind of get to know me at all, so I thought maybe this would be a good start. The first question is, why did I start this channel? I have had a passion for making videos, for digital content, both videography and photography, since I was probably in middle school or even a little bit earlier. I have since scrubbed all of my middle school videos from the internet. Nobody needs to see those. It's always embarrassing to look back on your middle school self, but I definitely took those down. But I didn't really pursue a YouTube channel. That is definitely a big regret of mine. I wish that, especially through college, that I had taken the time to make YouTube a priority. No better time than the present. I do currently work a 9-to-5 job, and so this is definitely a hobby project for me right now. Would I like it to turn into something more eventually? I think so. But right now, I'm just really excited to share book content with you all. I'm really excited to be a part of the YouTube community. I'm really excited to have this creative outlet because, as most of you probably know, just being a young adult in 2023, I feel like I have very, very minimal time to be creative. I don't get a lot of creative freedom in my job, unfortunately. So yeah, this is my creative outlet, my opportunity to share book content with you all, other content. This isn't just a booktube channel, but I do want to focus most of my content around books and reading. What is unique about this channel? I would say one of the biggest things that makes my channel unique is that I have a lot of different hobbies and interests. So my book content isn't just going to be fantasy books. It's also going to be self-help books in specific genres of what I enjoy. So my other hobby is running, so some of my content I do plan to have based around running, but I do have some self-help books specifically about running that I would love to review for you guys. My other interests, I actually filmed this in front of my bookcase for a reason, because I do also like reading nonfiction, specifically about the environment and animals and the ocean. So I'm excited to kind of bring that onto Booktube, because I feel like there's the self-help content of, you know, books like The 4-Hour Workweek and more mainstream books. Like I've seen this particular one all over social media, 101 Essays That Will Change the Way You Think by Brianna West, or Weist. I'm not sure how to say her last name. I can link this book down below. I really, really enjoy it. If you can't tell, I've been tabbing the heck out of this book. That was a really long way of saying that I have a lot of different interests, and so I'm hoping to bring some books onto Booktube that you maybe won't find on other people's channels. Why do I love reading? Reading for me has been an escape since I was a little kid. You know, I remember reading Magic Treehouse books, and that would be my escape, and I would literally go take that book and read it in a tree to make myself pretend that I was in the Magic Treehouse while I was reading the book. And I just have a lot of good memories of getting lost in good stories, and it really helped me develop a creative, elaborate imagination as a kid. And that's kind of, you know, circling back to the previous question, that's kind of what I'm trying to get back into my life with this YouTube channel. It's just bringing that creativity back out, because I feel like it's been dormant for a long time. What are my favorite books? My favorite book ever is The Gerbil Farmer's Daughter by Holly Robinson. I have 2 copies of it right here. I bought a used copy to loan out to people. It's a memoir, and I just fell in love with this woman's story, and it has remained a favorite for me for a long time. Other than that, I do have some fantasy favorites. I feel like my ranking of favorite fantasy series changes every year, so I don't know if it's worth going into that. Right now I'm reading Throne of Glass for the very first time. I have already read the Crescent City books, ACOTAR, all of that. I'm really excited about the new release that's coming out in January, February. I have also enjoyed Jennifer Armentrout, although I agree with the majority in saying that her writing has really gone downhill. I'm still committed to the From Blood and Ash series, but I'm starting to have to push through it quite a bit. But just fantasy in general is typically my go-to. What challenges do I have with this channel? I would say my biggest challenge is just finding the time to sit down and to film things, and then finding the time to edit, mostly to set up and film. I have a house that I, as you can see right here, with the door frame missing, is under construction. I don't have very many places that I'm comfortable filming in my house because it is the opposite of influencer culture online. You know, I don't have marble countertops and a grayed out house, which is good in some respects, but I just don't have a lot of places that are pretty or aesthetically pleasing to film in. So that is one challenge. Like I said, I do work a 9-to-5 job, so finding the time to sit down and make videos while the house is quiet can be kind of difficult. And another challenge is that I just am a multi-passionate person. I have a lot of different interests, so I don't spend all of my time on one hobby, which can definitely be difficult just for time management. This is Editing Anna jumping in because I realized I forgot to answer one of the questions, which is, when did I start reading? And I'm not embarrassed to admit that my mom read to me a lot when I was a kid, and that definitely helped me big time when it came to English and reading and just being a literate person. So shout out to my mom for being awesome and reading to me all those times before bed. But I do remember reading books as early as kindergarten. I remember reading The Velveteen Rabbit for a kindergarten project. So it started at a very young age. Where do I read? I spend most of my time reading in my house. I would say that during the summer months, I do really enjoy going and laying out on a blanket and having a little picnic situation. I also enjoy... It doesn't happen very often because my life is rather busy, but I have taken myself on little dates where I'll go to a coffee shop or a restaurant downtown and I'll go order myself a meal and a glass of wine and just sit down with my Kindle and read by myself. I get some weird looks when I do that, but it's honestly kind of relaxing. My favorite place to read right now would be my porch. Probably my favorite place to read, especially when it's warm out. When it's cold out, obviously not quite so much. And I'm really looking forward to having my office/library done. That is a room that is in progress. And once that is done, I'm sure that I will be spending quite a bit of time reading in there. I already kind of went over this next question, which is, what are my favorite genres? I read a little bit of everything. I have been reading some thrillers and historical fiction for some of the book clubs that I'm in, and that has kind of been branching out of my comfort zone quite a bit, but my main focus would be fantasy, and then certain nonfiction, and I'm kind of getting into thrillers a little bit. They're still out of my comfort zone, but we're working on it. And the last question is, what does my book collection look like? So this is just kind of a brief look at my collection. On the top shelf up here, I have a lot of my Fairy Loot books, my Limerick books, some of which I've read, some of which I haven't. My Waterstones copies of Crescent City are right here. And then on this next shelf, I have some Jilly Cooper, which if you are into horses at all, she's a British author and love, love, love her book Riders. That is a book that I actually powered through while in college, so I feel like that says a lot. And then I have a lot of nonfiction just about me and my husband's hobbies. And then let me set you back down because I'm sure my arm is shaking a little bit too much. And then I just have some like nonfiction self-help books in here. Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty is back here. That is a favorite of mine. Love Lily Singh, Superwoman on YouTube. Used to love watching her, so I did buy her book. Super Navigators, Becoming Wild, books about wildlife. The Love Hypothesis, I read that on a plane on the way to what turned out to be my engagement trip, so that does have some sentimental value. Down here I have some cookbooks and then travel books, again a couple more hobbies, and then I have more Fairy Loot Illumicrate books down here. So that is a little introduction to me. I am really looking forward to sharing more on this channel. I hope this video was somewhat entertaining. So yeah, thanks for watching.